Okay, we got a good guest today. Aiden Wijesekera. Is that right?
You got it.
All right. I've known Aiden for 5 years now. The first time I met him was when he came out to a North Shore Twins Bantam tryout. And this, I'm going to sound like a dick here, but he was probably the most unathletic, slowest, one of the weakest kids in the tryout. 5 years later, 4 years, 5 years later?
Around there.
5 years later, insane work ethic, insane discipline, insane motivation. The guy spends more time here than me. And you should see the kid hit the ball now. It's incredible. The body transformation, the mindset, everything is incredible. So I just wanted to give you props for that. Aiden, how old are you? Where did you grow up? What's your position? And what's your favorite team?
All right, I'm 17. Grown up around all over Canada, really, mostly North Van. I play first and third, trying to transition to second base, and love the Blue Jays.
Awesome. What would you say, was there like a defining moment when you kind of chose to pursue baseball? And
Not really. I got into baseball because the hockey season was over and I was bored. And so I always wanted to play in the league, but I never knew how, like, the process to get there. So when I joined the academy, I really learned how I was going to, like, get there, like, what it took.
Sweet. What's your motivation for spending so much time in the gym, so much time training? Like, where does that motivation come from, and what is your goal with baseball?
The goal is to get it all the way, play in the big leagues. And it just comes from knowing what I want, basically. I just know where I want to be and when I want to be there. So that's what I got to do.
I think that's a great talking point, because a lot of kids, I'll ask the same question, where do you guys want to play when you're older? And they have no idea. Guys like us, like my dream as a kid was to play in the MLB, and it takes that dream to kind of spark that motivation and have that discipline to get to that next level. And whether your baseball career works out or not, hopefully it does. Hopefully you have a 20-year big league career. The skills you've learned from the process of training and developing over the last 5 years will take you through the rest of your life, and you're going to be successful, right? Any employer is going to be super lucky to have you. And yeah, I just wanted to commend you on your discipline and work ethic.
Thanks, man.
Okay. All right. What are you feeling in your swing? What are we working on today?
Just the load.
Okay. What about it specifically?
I'm trying to work on getting more separation. And so when I start my swing, I feel myself getting back here.
Yeah.
But as I started, my hands start to leak and they start like coming in.
Yeah, I've noticed that a little bit. Another thing you've done really well is work on your mobility. So there's no way you could even do that movement 3 years ago, right? The amount of mobility you put in, that is what creates that separation, right? So if a lot of you guys, when you're hitting, if you're not getting the power numbers you want, or you're feeling like you're kind of constricted, a lot of it has to do with mobility. So that's a big factor in hitting the ball harder. Let's take a few swings to get warmed up. So we just got a slow-mo video here. We're checking it out. So he's right, like when he's loading, getting your stance really quick. When he's loading, everything looks pretty good, load and stride. But then as he's kind of in the end of his load, his hands start reaching towards his head like this. So 2 ways we can go about this. One of them is sequencing everything a little bit later, or sequencing your upper body a little bit later. So a lot of guys, when I do like pitching lessons and stuff, and I have the same problem, I would start my hands the same time as my knee went up, and then as I land, I'd be open like this. What I tell young kids is to just delay that upper body a little bit so we can let that lower body separate before that upper body happens. So what I want you to think about for a couple swings here is just letting the lower half get into the load and then starting your hands a little bit later. So hopefully it'll delay it enough that when you go to do your full load, they'll separate at the same time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Instead of starting this early and then this happens. Take an extra second in between swings here. I want you to really feel it. So it looks better, but let's delay it even more. Let's exaggerate it. So I literally want you just to hold your hands in your stance position. Let the lower half start its load and just wait as long as you can. And you might even foul a couple off, but I just want you to create that feeling a little bit. Nice. That one feel different at all?
It felt rushed, but it didn't feel like I was collapsing.
Okay. So felt rushed, so let's start at a touch earlier, because I think it's going to be good, but just because I don't want you to have to rush your load, so let's start it a little bit earlier just so you can slow it down a touch. That was a great swing. Good miss. That one looked a little bit rushed and just kind of tried to hit the shit out of it, right? Let's just again, when you're trying something new, just kind of take the intensity down a little bit just to sort of feel how the body's supposed to move a bit more. We're just going to start off by doing like a super low intensity swing because it's very tough to make an adjustment when you're swinging at 100%. You can't really feel what's going on with your body, so we're just going to feel it out and go nice and slow. So get into that coil, and then from there, I want you to drive that hip and that back elbow nice and slow. That's not slow. That's intense. That's only 5 miles an hour slower than your maximum intensity swing. Load, stop. We're coming from back here, right? That's obviously not what we want to do with the barrel. I'm just doing it for an example. But we want to feel this first, right? That back elbow's got to go and not those hands. Slow. Back elbow. Better. Stop. Elbow and hip. Go. That was it right there. What did you feel? What did you tell yourself to do?
I just kind of told myself to drop the barrel.
Good. I don't really like to use the term drop the barrel, but if that's what gets him to think about it and gets him to do it properly, we're going to drop the barrel. And that's why we don't drop the barrel. But again, it's a cue, right? So that's just to get you to do it properly, that's what you got to think. So coil, drop the barrel. Better. Do you feel those hands leak?
A little bit, yeah.
Don't, like, we already have our tension, right? Now it's go. We don't need to create anything else. We're already in that perfect spot. You're not going to hit 90 off this. We're not looking for velocity. We're just looking for bang. Like, think about dropping that barrel. Yeah. Go back. Load. Okay, you're already in a perfect coiled position, right? You're already ready to go.
Yeah.
Now it's that back elbow. Feel it slow. Boom. Again, not what we want to do, but for his sake, that's what we're going to think. Go. Very nice. Let's get to that 45 again really quick, and I just want you to feel it out again. So you're just going to coil up. And then, again, I just want you to feel, yeah, create that feeling. Hit it right back to the screen, 60%. Good. Now you got to let the ball get there, right? I mean, part of the reason you might feel like you have to do this and your body kind of compensated for it is because you're attacking it super early, right? If we hit from the backside, we can afford to be a bit later. So don't feel like you have to go reach for that ball. I want you to feel like you're letting it get here and then you're just going bang from the backside. Good. Good.
I don't think you have enough followers to get canceled.
Hey, shout out to all the boys and girls following me. We got 116 followers now. Very nice. Now, are you still kind of sequencing it later, or are you just thinking about, okay. And also just thinking about, like, dumping that barrel on the backside a little bit?
Not as much barrel as just going later.
Okay. It's a good swing.
Oh!
So that one started super early. I don't know if you felt it, but, like, right as I was about to release the ball, I saw your hands start moving. Again, just feel like you're like in your proper load position and then let those legs go first before you do this, because if you start them at the same time, you're going to end like this. But if you start them a bit later, now it's going to match up perfectly, right? Yeah. It's a good swing. Coming. Okay, so thoughts going into this round. Just starting a little bit later, we're going to forget the dumping the barrel thing.
Yeah.
Okay, do one just so you feel it out. Your body knows what to do. Let the legs go. Good. Just missed it. Good swing, though. Aye! Oh. And always, if you hit one really hard, the next swing is always, let me do more. And then we roll over. Do the same. We don't need to do more after a great swing. Hands later. It's a good miss. That's what I mean, like, where you hit from the backside. Like, you weren't really timed up perfectly there, were you?
No.
And you still caught it really well and had a great ball flight. Yeah. So that's the benefit of being on that backside is, like, you have a bigger, more room for error. Nice. Ah! One more.
A worm burner.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I just missed it.
God damn it.